Hello, my name is Jemima Jenga. Welcome to our podcast making. Today we are learning about pattern drafting and on the introduction of pattern drafting. What is pattern drafting? The meaning of pattern drafting, types of pattern instructions, and also the importance of pattern. So the first term is what is pattern drafting? It is the means of acquiring shape around the body. A pattern is a diagrammatic representation of the way garment parts will be constructed. Also, in that, in producing of a pattern, one requires to have French curves, also tracing wheels, and also a H2 pencil and some plain papers, and also the design that one wants to interpret. A pattern acts as a map of the garment done on final paper using the body or the standard measurements. A pattern is grazed towards a specific cutting system. Therefore, the objective is to develop a template for the cutting used. In pattern drafting, the process of creating a pattern by taking the body measurements from a person to a model in order to create a foundation to arrive to the required design. The process includes the measurements, the pattern drawings, that is the design, and the pattern set creation. Those are the requirements. The method of creation, there are 4 methods of pattern construction. There is one pattern draping, that is a 2-dimensional piece of fabric is fitted around the body of the person or the dress to conform the shape, the body shape. Also, we have the second one, which is the flat pattern cut. It is called the flat pattern cut because although clothes are for body in 3 dimensions, the patterns are cut on a flat surface in 2 dimensions, where virtually all the lines you create are either at right angle, where they resemble the grain of the fabric, or are curved to fit the curve of the body. The third pattern making is the freehand patterns. This does not require the patterns, but instead the measurements are made directly onto the fabric using simple tools and few selected measurements. We have the fourth one, which is the computer-aided pattern making. It is a modern technology that offers systems which allow for design using computers. Development of new patterns is arrived by approximate modification of existing blocks. We also have the fifth one, which is the pattern drafting, the one that we are studying now. The pattern drafting is a systematic approach of pattern making based on a set of body measurements to complete the paper pattern. It is developed by calculations in which the accuracy depends on the following: the accuracy of the actual body measurements. Second, the accuracy of the draft measurements. They are required. In drafting, the following measurements should be considered, which is 1, the actual body measurements; 2, the size chart, where in the metric, the women metric, the men and the children metric, on the first page there is the size chart, where we use to create the sizes for the size we want to develop of the garment. Also, another one to consider is the grain increments, where if you want to do grading, this is one to consider. We also have the crease allowance. This depends on the garment design and the style. This is the distance between the body and the garment to cater for the movement and change in dimensions. That is the ease allowance. Also, we have the advantages of paper patterns. There are quite a number. One, a good paper pattern of the right size which has been adjusted to suit your individual requirements will enable you to obtain a good fit. Another one, a pattern prepared on thick paper or carton board can be preserved for a long time. That is true. It can be used over and over again. Another one, by manipulating the basic pattern piece, it is possible to produce patterns for complicated and original designs. Also, we have another advantages where a paper pattern of a particular size can be used to make new patterns by approximately larger or smaller size by following the systematic procedure called grading. We also have another one in cutting. Cutting with the help of a paper is quicker and easier than drafting straight away on the fabric. Also, in the use of paper pattern will enable you to cut the garment with a minimum amount of fabric because it is possible for you to try out the placement of pattern pieces in different ways until you find the most economical way to keep them. Another one, if there is any mistake while drafting, this can be corrected in the pattern itself rather than on drafting on the garment, on the fabric itself. Also, pattern can be modified according to the latest design. That is true. Also, in the making of one's own pattern, there is a great scope for deriving personal satisfaction from the freedom of creating one's own design. We also have the tools and equipment that are required for pattern drafting. A good pattern drafter or designer is known not by number of tools but by efficiency in using the tools. If tools are used appropriately, they enable an effective job. Knowledge on tools available and how they function, it is necessary for a person who is doing pattern drafting. Among the tools that one is required to have in pattern drafting is a working surface. That is, a flat working surface is required. And also there is papers. Those are the plain papers for the drafting. We also require a pencil where we use a 2H pencil. There is also a colored pencils that is used to outline the complemented areas. There is also a ruler, a metric ruler, and curved rulers, which are the French curves. There is also the straight square, where it is used